Here's what the media doesn't want you to know about the Israel-Hamas war. I'm here on the National Mall today, where a few weeks ago I joined about 300,000 of my closest Jewish friends and Christian friends. And why I was here is that me and my family were actually in Israel on October 7th, whenever the war started with Hamas. Hamas came and brutally attacked men, women, children in Israel on the morning of October 7th. And that truly connected our hearts to Israel and to the Jewish people. And I felt led to come down and to support our Jewish friends as Christians, as just people who care that there was atrocities against a group of people again. And what the media would want you to think is that you are alone in your support for Israel. You are alone in supporting the Jewish people. What they show is that the support for Hamas, the support for Palestine is great, and it's all over. Well, it is, but there's also a ton of support for Israel. There's people praying around the world for Israel, people that are supporting the Jewish people around the world, including the march that was here. And I'll try to show some footage from that. But it was by far the biggest gathering I've ever seen on the mall. I've been down here for a lot of different things. By far the biggest. And even now, there's prayer and worship going up night and day, 24/7, just right behind my shoulder here at David's tent in DC. So what the media wants you to do is focus on the trouble in this day, but we need to focus on is what's the truth and what is God saying about these situations. We need to go in with prayer, with a biblical worldview of like what is like actually going on, and what's the bigger picture behind the things that are going on, and not get wrapped up in the trouble, but really to go seek the Lord and how we're supposed to respond. But the thing I wanted to hit on was just that the media just wants you to feel like, oh, you're the only one out here that's supporting the Jews. And along with those 300,000 people, whenever we were in Israel a couple days before the attacks on October 7th, there was thousands of Christians who were gathered and marching through the streets of Jerusalem to support the Jewish people. And it was just beautiful. People from all over the world, Africa, Asia, I mean, just Romania, everywhere. It's just it was beautiful to see, and a lot of them were in even some of their native tribe and tongue, their native clothing and their native style of worshiping. They're worshiping Jesus through the streets of Jerusalem, and it was so beautiful. And what really has provoked me to make this video and then to write an article that I recently published with Intercessors for America was I went to see a man by the name of Amir Tesfardi with Behold Israel. It's his organization, and I saw him at Cornerstone Chapel in Leesburg, and I'll actually post a link to the talk he gave, but he talked about just what I knew from about what actually happened on October 7th, just the basics of the atrocities that day. And what struck me was I looked at the faces of people around me, and it looked like shock, like that was the first time they had heard what actually happened. And I went and asked some people afterwards, hey, have you heard have you heard this message before? Have you heard what actually happened that day before now? And about half of them had heard, and then half of them hadn't heard before. That just the true nature and the true just brutality which those men, women, children were murdered and tortured and taken captive in Israel. So I'm making this video to raise awareness and a call to action to go get God's perspective and to really seek out the truth of what's going on, and to not get wrapped up in the media and the narrative that they're pushing. You're not alone. You're not crazy if you support Israel. You're not crazy if you're a Christian. There's many of us out there, and thank you for watching the video up to this point. Just comment your prayers down below, how you're supporting Israel, how you're praying, just to help others, so we know that we're in a community. Comment, you're not alone. And thank you. Like, subscribe. Last morning at the apartments in Jerusalem. The sun's just coming up, hitting the old city. Leaving part of my heart here.